Hello, quilting friends. I'm Linda Nitzen with Sizzix, here to show you the World Without End block and how easy it is to put together. The block itself is comprised of 4 different blocks into one unit, and I'm going to show you how easy that is to put together. So we want to use the dark gray for the outside, the light blue for the inside triangle, and the light gray pointing towards the center. So we're going to start with the middle triangle, and since I only need a small portion of it, I've pre-cut a little piece of gray to fit here in the corner. So we need a cutting pad at the bottom, fabric, cutting pad on the top, and we're just going to move that through the machine. We'll put those aside. Now we're going to cut out the blue, so we'll need 4 of those. And I just want to lay my fabric on top of the shape itself and roll that back over. Cutting pad at the top, cutting pad at the bottom. Sometimes we have a little clip that we need to do as it comes through the machine. So I'm going to lay this out so that you can see this in all its components while we get them cut. The next piece will be the dark gray, and we need 2 for each block, so 2, 4, 6, 8. And on the die, they're cut 2 at a time, so that works out well. And it looks like I've got the perfect amount. So we have 2, 4, 6, and 8. I'm going to run that over. You want to, I just flipped the cutting pad over. You want to flip your cutting pads back and forth so that they don't get warped in one direction or another. All right, so we have pieces. We're not trying to make a triangle and a square, so I don't want it going this way or I'll end up with a rectangle-ish looking shape. I definitely want a square, but the square is right here. Okay, and when I'm happy with the layout, we're going to go ahead and get started sewing those together. So I want to take the dark gray and sew that with the light blue. You're going to see that it perfectly matches to the corner here and down at the edge also. And the bottom you'll see overlaps just a tiny bit. So I like to use a starter piece of cloth just to keep that going. My threads don't catch on what I'm really sewing, or that my needle doesn't eat the end of the triangle. With a scant 1/4 of an inch, just sew all the way to the bottom. Okay, now if I was going to sew all 4 of these together, I would chain stitch them, but because I'm only going to show you the one, we're going to open that up. We're just going to place the next one on here. Make sure that you have your bottom of your square lined up. Again, match up the corners. Again, a scant 1/4 of an inch all the way to the bottom here. And then we're going to put the final piece on top. It's going to lay on top just like that. So it overlaps just slightly on both sides. Can you see that okay? So you can drop a couple of pins in if you'd like, just to keep that secured. And I just tuck them right here on the top. One on the corner and one at the other corner. And we'll want to get our iron out. We can finger press that into place. And as you can see, that is the beginning of our 4 pieces. So you would sew 4 of these together, then simply take the 4, and I've used the blue thread so that you could see it a little bit better. So the 2 ends here, flip it over and sew the other end together. And there's 1 block. Make multiple blocks, make a full quilt. Make 4 blocks and make a pillow. It's completely up to you. I hope you enjoyed today's tutorial. Happy quilting!